Put some of that oregano oil under your tongue and then go lay down. Get some sleep. If we stop at the store, is there anything that you want?
Yeah, because we're going to end up having to go get bread, yeah?
What?
We're going to end up having to go get bread.
Yeah, I want to.
I'm live right now.
Oh, nice. I could probably puck that out. This one kind
Yeah, there's a lot more flavor.
Do you want the other one?
That one's going to be amazing too. I should zoom in on that and see what they're talking about. I should zoom in on that and see what they're talking about. We got some watching.
Keep adjusting the flex.
Nice.
Don't need to keep reloading your arms.
Something went wrong.
Yeah, Daniel he keeps reloading his arms so you can get things all done.
I could use mine and record just in case.
No, it was just the chat, the live chat.
Just in case. I should. When I do it, I can't help it.
I did too, that's why. I did too, that's why I put it in between all of them. Where's Nancy?
She's back there.
I like it.
Yeah, I think Rebecca didn't change though. The video, I need to start putting it in editing. I did email that. I haven't had the time with everything.
Good evening. You can turn your mics on when you, just remember everybody to turn their mics on when they're talking. Call the meeting to order and welcome everybody tonight. If we could stand. We pray for the wisdom to make decisions that are beneficial to the people represented here. Empower us to speak honestly, reflect wisely, and vote with integrity. We seek your guidance tonight.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mr. Carroll,
Present.
Mrs. Chambers,
Here.
Mr. Wynn,
Here.
Mrs. Kemper, Mrs. Lingo.
Here.
Mr. Osborne.
Here.
We have a quorum.
David, turn on your mic. Okay. All right, first item is approval of the minutes of the business meeting, July 25th, 2023. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Osborne, second Ms. Wingo. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next is recognition from St. Elizabeth. I guess, Miss Betty, are you going to come up first? This is Betty McGee, Clinical Education Specialist for St. Elizabeth Healthcare.
Good evening. Thanks for having us this evening.
Mic turned on there.
Is it turned on? There's a little green light on the bottom.
It's on. On behalf of St. Elizabeth Healthcare and the American Heart Association, we would like to recognize your personnel for the exceptional care and handoff of a patient that led to delivery of tenecteplase within 32 minutes of arrival to the Florence facility, winning the system-wide door-to-needle challenge for the month of May. Recognizing the impact that EMS has on the end goal of decreasing door-to-delivery time of IV thrombolytic for eligible stroke patients, Phase 3 of American Heart Association National Quality Initiative Target Stroke, launched back in 2010, includes a focus on aligning efforts across the entire continuum, including EMS. Timely response from initial dispatch, rapid identification and transport, pre-hospital notification, and effective handoff communication from the field to the hospital are key links in the chain of survival and optimizing stroke outcomes for our patients. Many factors play into the decision-making process of administering thrombolytic once the patient arrives to the hospital. Collaborative partnerships between EMS communities and healthcare systems, as recognized by the AHA International Initiative, will allow best practices to be implemented throughout a system of care. EMS personnel that critically think to gather, standardize, and hand off key information will enhance the decision-making process once the patient arrives to the emergency department. This year, an additional incentive of a challenge coin will be awarded for collaborative clinical decision-making that leads to a difference in the patient's life, including delivery of tenecteplase within 30 minutes or rapid intervention for thrombectomy treatment. We look forward to you meeting that challenge this year. So for tonight, Rick Courier and Danielle Eilerman, we have a certificate and a brain pen to present to you. Thank you for your collaboration and exceptional service.
Okay, thank you, Betty. Chris Miller, do you have additional recognition?
Yes, Mayor, there are two additional things. I believe Danielle Steiner has something else from St. Elizabeth. Is that correct? Mike
Mike
Harris.
Harris,
I didn't see
come on
Mike
up.
back there. Hi, Mike.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Florence City Council. I'm happy to be here representing St. Elizabeth Healthcare and the Gateway Community Technical College Paramedic Education Program. So every year we have full cohorts of paramedic students coming into our programs and send them out into the field to ride with ladies and gentlemen that you see standing here behind me. Our students every year, 21 students, they did just over 8,000 hours of ride time on ALS ambulances with these guys and ladies and gentlemen right here behind me. They saw nearly 2,000 patients during those 8,000 hours. So they do a lot of work, and we rely on these people behind me supporting our students in their endeavors of becoming paramedics. Every year, our paramedic students nominate people that they think really went above and beyond and provided them with a perfect educational opportunity. And this year, the students nominated Joe Marlowe from the Florence Fire and EMS Department as the Field Preceptor of the Year.
Thank you. Congratulations, Joe.
And then finally, Mayor, we had the honor of being awarded the American Heart Association Mission Lifeline Silver Achievement Award this year. And I believe that kind of goes hand in hand with the initiatives at the hospital. I believe that's how this came to us. And basically, it's similar to what we hear with the brain pins. Emergency medical staff can begin treatment when they arrive. You know, and the sooner they do that, when we're talking about patients that are having heart attacks and strokes, the sooner that they get treated, the better the outcome is. So Mission Lifeline is the American Heart Association's national initiative to advance the system care of patients with high-risk, time-sensitive disease states, such as severe heart attacks and strokes. Helps to reduce barriers to prompt treatment, starting from when 911 is called to EMS transport, continuing through hospital treatment and discharge. Optimal care for heart attack and stroke patients takes coordination between individual pre-hospital providers in the healthcare system. So this Mission Lifeline EMS Achievement Award focuses on the agency's on-scene care, bringing to the forefront the collaboration and contributions to patient care for pre-hospital providers. So the American Heart Association is honored to recognize Florence Fire EMS for dedication to providing optimal care for heart attack patients. They sent this through Captain Dave Curtis, who has been instrumental in also making this happen, along with the folks on the back wall there that are out making these runs every day. So we have received the Mission Lifeline EMS Silver Award with Target Heart Attack Honor Roll Award for this year.
Congratulations, Chief. We appreciate all your hard work in keeping our community safe.
Mayor, no one wants to have to be put in an ambulance and taken to the hospital, but of course it happens to people all the time. And we're fortunate to have the men and women standing here and their colleagues elsewhere taking care of our citizens and also the people that go through Florence. We forget that we have two major highways, expressways going through Florence, and we're out there from time to time, probably every day. And as kind as I can say it, if someone's going to be sick or injured or have a heart attack or something like that, they're kind of fortunate to have it done in Florence because of you all. Because you all respond so quickly and so promptly and so professionally, and we appreciate that very much. And it doesn't go unnoticed. You may notice that I might be a little older than some of you back there, and I say that to share this with you, that I can remember when the only ambulance in town was a hearse that we could borrow from the local funeral home. And we had people that would respond, volunteers. And I remember when we stood out on the street corners on weekends, and we had this thing called Fill the Boot. We'd have a rubber boot from the fire department standing there, and we'd ask people to put contributions in to kind of keep the volunteer fire department going. So we've come a long, long way from there to where you all are today. And then to have St. Elizabeth right here in town to respond so promptly also, we're just blessed, quite frankly, to have what we have. And you guys are a big part of it. So thank you all very much.
Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Carroll. While we do have some representatives from St. Elizabeth here tonight, we thought we would kind of couple a proclamation on top of that in recognition for St. Elizabeth Healthcare, the Florence location to be recognized as a magnet designation for nurses. So I would like to read this. Whereas the City of Florence recognizes St. Elizabeth Healthcare for the remarkable achievement in earning the prestigious magnet designation from the American Nurses Credentialing Center's ANCC Magnet Recognition Program. And whereas the magnet designation serves as a testament to the unwavering commitment of St. Elizabeth Healthcare for excellence in nursing, philosophy and practice, outstanding patient care, and dedication to national standards for healthcare improvement. And whereas St. Elizabeth Healthcare has consistently demonstrated unparalleled proficiency in the nursing profession, showcasing their exceptional teamwork and unity to ensure the highest quality of patient care. And whereas the achievement of the magnet designation is an accomplishment that puts them among an elite group of less than 10% of the hospitals nationwide who can claim such a prestigious status. And whereas the City of Florence extends our sincere gratitude to the nursing staff, administrators, and all healthcare professionals associated with St. Elizabeth Healthcare for their unwavering dedication to delivering exceptional patient care and their continuous efforts to elevate the nursing profession. Now therefore, I, Julie Aubuchon, Mayor of the City of Florence, Kentucky, and on behalf of the members of Florence City Council, do hereby recognize and commend St. Elizabeth Healthcare for their outstanding accomplishment in achieving magnet designation, and we urge all citizens of Florence to join us in expressing our gratitude and admiration for St. Elizabeth Healthcare and their unparalleled pledge of commitment to excellence in healthcare. In witness thereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Florence to be hereto affixed this 8th day of August 2023. So congratulations, St. Elizabeth. If you would like to come to the podium, introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Christy Miller and I'm the Chief Nursing Officer for Florence and Fort Thomas. And it is my honor to accept this proclamation on behalf of all of our nurses who work at Florence. You know, as you mentioned, it takes all of us taking care of our patients to have this exceptional outcomes in terms of patient outcomes, patient experience, and really this commitment to building a culture of excellence. So we are appreciative of this proclamation. It's our honor to serve each of you.
Thank you. Bruno?
Yeah, just a quick kudos to EMS, fire, police. We appreciate you guys more than you know. So congratulations that we'll be back here. Thank you.
All right, we just take a second if you guys would come out and around and we'll do a picture and then let you all go. And then I guess if our brain pin recipients can come and our training recipient, if you guys could come up here for a picture too real quick.
You gotta walk around.
Watch this. You ready? Yes,
Thanks.
next item is a second reading of O-21, 2023. This is an ordinance relating to lateral transfers of experienced officers from other police departments to join the Florence Police Department, and experienced firefighters, EMTs, or paramedics from other fire departments to join the Florence Fire EMS Department. The purpose of this ordinance is to make adjustments to the lateral transfer policy in order to correct potential inconsistencies in ordinance number 01615 and 0919. The full text of ordinance 021, 2023, including its exhibits, is available for examination in the office of the city clerk of the city of Florence, Kentucky, in the Florence Government Center, 8100 Ewing Boulevard, Florence, Kentucky, during regular office hours. Is there a motion? Mr. Nguyen?
Second.
Ms. Wingo, any discussion? All in favor, or let's do a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Carroll.
Yes?
Mrs. Chambers.
Yes.
Mr. Wynn.
Yes.
Mrs. Wingo.
Yes.
Mr. Osborne.
You definitely.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, thank you. Next is ordinance 022, 2023. This is an ordinance establishing the Florence Business Facade Upgrades Grant Program in the city of Florence. The purpose of this ordinance is to encourage rehabilitation and enhancement of buildings, to promote economic growth and investment, and to improve Florence's desirability and long-term viability within designated areas of Florence. This ordinance outlines a grant payment program whereby qualifying property owners in designated areas within Florence may make application for grant assistance for the rehabilitation and enhancement of qualifying structures. The full text of ordinance 022, 2023, including its exhibits, is available for the examination in the office of the city clerk, city of Florence, Kentucky, 8100 Ewing Boulevard, Florence, Kentucky, during regular office hours. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Ms. Wingo? Mr. Nguyen, any discussion?
Mayor, if I could make an observation, we're in the process of passing 4 different ordinances, and this is the second vote on these. And so the conversation is probably going to be little or nothing, because we've already talked about them, we've already voted on them once. We started working on these back in the budget process in the spring. So when we pass these, most of them 6-0 or 5-0, doesn't mean that we're not interested. We've already covered all this information in previous meetings and such.
All right. Ms. Chambers, did you have something?
Yes, I had a lot of feedback from the public about this one and the next, agenda item. So I was just wondering if Mr. Hunt could come up and answer a few questions so that the people at home and the audience can hear, where this money is coming from, the return on investment that we expect, and what steps have brought you to the conclusion that this grant is a necessary process?
Sure. So we discussed this many times in the budget retreat. Specifically, then we had discussion last week. Most of our incentives are what I would call direct economic impact incentives, meaning that it's payroll oriented. So typically those are in the form of a KBI, which is Kentucky Business Investment Incentive, an industrial revenue bond, or a tax increment financing district. This is the first incentive that City Council has ever passed that is it's not payroll, it's not based off payroll taxes, it's based off of direct investment back into the property. And it falls right in line with what council had voted on and had asked for on the east side of town. So we've answered a lot of these questions in the past. I don't know if there's anything else to add.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Carroll.
Yes?
Mrs. Chambers.
Yes.
Mr. Wynn.
Yes.
Mrs. Wingo.
Yes.
Mr. Osborne. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Next is the second reading on ordinance 023, 2023. An ordinance of the city of Florence, Kentucky, establishing an economic incentive and grant program to demolish abandoned and blighted real estate. The purpose of this ordinance is to provide financial assistance to qualified property owners in Florence to encourage the removal of abandoned, blighted, and undesirable structures. The ordinance is intended to increase job revenue, job creation, decrease blight, and enhance property tax values. The full text of ordinance 023-2023 is available for examination in the office of the city clerk of the city of Florence, Kentucky, 8100 Ewing Boulevard, Florence, Kentucky, during regular office hours. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Carroll?
Second.
Second, Ms. Wingo. Any discussion?
Just the same type question for this one.
Sorry. The biggest difference is this incentivizes the removal of blight. There's quite a few structures that we talked about in the past, specifically on the east side, and actually this one applies to all areas of Florence, but it allows us to go out when we're dealing with site selectors. We pitch hundreds of sites every year across the city. Majority of those site selectors are looking at Mall Road, Houston Road, but this really allows us to go after some of the older property structures throughout Florence and pitch it to site selectors and offer them incentive to reinvest back within the city.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Carroll,
Yes.
Mrs. Chambers,
Yes.
Mr. Wynn, Mrs. Wingo,
Yes.
Mr. Osborne. Motion passes 5-0.
Next ordinance is 024-2023. It's an ordinance of the City of Florence, Kentucky, establishing the City of Florence City Official Training Program. The purpose of this ordinance is to establish a training program consistent with the authorization granted by KRS 64.5278. The ordinance adopts a training incentive program designed to encourage qualifying city officials to pursue educational opportunities in advanced training to enhance and promote efficient operation of city government. The full text of ordinance 024-2023 is available for examination in the office of the city clerk at the city of Florence, Kentucky, in the Florence Government Center, 8100 Ewing Boulevard, Florence, Kentucky, during regular office hours. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Mr. Carroll?
Second.
Second, Mr. Osborne. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Carroll,
Yes.
Mrs. Chambers,
Yes.
Mr. Wynn,
Yes.
Mrs. Wingo,
Yes.
Mr. Osborne.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, the mayor's report, just want to give I am freezing down here tonight. I was shaking, sorry, I can't even talk. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one cold down here, but it feels like it's awfully chilly down here tonight. Recap of the National Night Out. We did have a great crowd. Lots of people came and gone throughout the night. Had good food. Mr. Carroll, you helped serve that out with some good volunteers from Target, I believe. So we had a ice cream giveaway that M&P Logistics sponsored, and Fillmore's was happy to provide for us, and lots of booths, everything from Skedaddles and UPS and Kelly Services and the Health Department, and I'm sure I'm gonna miss somebody, so I'll quit there while I'm ahead, but we had a great turnout, great booths, lots of people there, and I think it was a very nice just showing from each one of our departments, and they got to meet with a lot of people, and very positive comments, so thank you all to the department heads and your departments for doing a great job. This Friday, August 11th, is our second free summer concert at the Florence Mall lower level parking lot near Macy's. The concert's going to feature the School of Rock House Band for the opening act, and then we'll have a headlining act. They are great. They're named London Street. And we'll have food trucks and beverages there available for purchase. Everybody's encouraged to bring a lawn chair and come on out. Food should be available by 5, and music starts around 6. And then mark your calendars for our last concert, which will be Saturday, September 2nd. It's with an end of the summer celebration. It's going to feature a car show beginning at 11 o'clock. And live music by the Florence Community Band and the Grateful Dead's. The music's going to start around 4, so should be a great time on Labor Day weekend. Anybody on council desire recognition? Any department heads? Anyone in the audience? Entertain a motion to adjourn? Motion by Mr. Carroll, second by Mr. Wynn. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Have a great night, everybody. Go warm up.